All right, guys, here we are to talk about the trailer for the movie Gilbert, a Gilbert Gottfried story.
That's awesome. I like Gilbert Gottfried.
I actually always liked him, and I really felt bad that his career severely tanked off of a joke.
That joke was so funny too. That's so dumb.
Do you remember? I remember it was a Katrina joke.
Do you remember the joke? Oh no, it was 9/11 joke. I thought.
Oh,
he might have done
I think he lost his job again then.
Multiple times. The one that I remember is there was some roast, I think, or something shortly after 9/11, and he gets up to do his bit, and he goes, I'm sorry I'm late. I almost didn't make it. I couldn't find the flight, out of Newark that didn't stop in Midtown or something like that or whatever.
Oh, it was I didn't even hear that one.
Yeah.
I remember there was the
I should have looked it up.
The Katrina one though, I think is what they'll probably tell us right in here in this thing. The Katrina one, I think, is what Affleck fired him over, and that I think was his last claim.
Do you remember the joke? Okay.
It was something about floating by or something like.
Oh, whatever.
Again, they're comedians.
That is his
I don't
style.
ever fault a comedian for saying something that's like, oh, they're pushing boundaries or whatever. I'm like, that's what how you find what funny is. Not all jokes are gonna land. I go, but if it's funny with anybody, he did his job.
No, and it's he's the type. He's one of the good ones. He's not just pandering and doing dumb low jokes. He's picking. He's doing what it is a comedian's job to do with offensive jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember him from USA Up All Night. I think whatever it was, right?
But if you're offended by a comedian, how would you even hear his joke if you weren't looking for his joke? He's not streaming buying commercial time during your favorite Judge Judy reruns and saying jokes. He said it on Twitter, I think. So if you didn't follow him on Twitter,
the Katrina thing,
why would you care?
Yeah, and even that roast thing, people report on it and they go, oh, this comedian said this offensive thing, and they go, oh, 9/11 offensive. Who's that? Okay, what did he say? I don't know. This whole thing, and you're like, if you didn't even know. It's that it's the culture of we have to be super offended with everything or whatever the fuck. A similar thing happened to Bill Maher. These people, especially nowadays with podcasts and streaming and all the different things that they even used to do, they talk so much and they make up so many jokes for so many things that there's definitely going to be things that are even they would look back and say that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah,
but whatever.
But if you're on tape live, candidly speaking for your whole life, you're eventually saying some cringy shit.
If it's your job to say shit that's edgy and out there, I don't know. I feel bad for these people. Maybe they shouldn't sponsor.
But then it goes from that point where there's no bad publicity or whatever, and then it's I guess there is.
Well, yeah, because the other argument is hey, you can do whatever you want, but Pepsi Cola doesn't want your be associated with you or whatever the fuck. So I get that too. But
all right,
hopefully he's doing fine, and we'll find out that he's had a full and happy life in this documentary.
Let's check this trailer.
Oh God, I clicked on the word documentary. Everything's ruined. Let's find out.
No, this looks interesting. I'm not a big documentary person, but I do like the subject. I like seeing a bunch of comedians take on things. I like the little peek behind the veil. He does seem, and this is not said very offensively. This is just an observation. Seems kind of like a pathetic guy now.
Now, what do you mean?
No, if you look at him now, whenever you see somebody that you knew in their prime, getting older, their walk is different. They're slouch and all that stuff. It's kind of sad. You don't want to take it in, but I like to know where did he come from? When did this happen? How did this go?
No, I remember the guys from Green Day and Metallica having kids and shit and being oh, we're going to the thing with a kid. I'm oh shit, that sucks. So yeah, he has kids. He has a normal life. He's a normal man. He's not walking around. The sandwich is not sandwichy and not freaking out all the time. He's oh, it's pretty good. It's delicious. He's a normal person. No, so I don't love documentaries, and this is gonna seem contradictory, but I do love people telling stories about people that they know from back in the day. And and you would think a documentary about a person would be mostly that, but it's not. Usually there's all this other fucking narrative that gets injected into it, and but things were about to take a dark turn for young Gilbert. This fucking and this looks like it'll be the former instead of the latter, where it's Artie Lang and Jay Leno and all these fucking people, where it's and Penn Jillette, they don't show him, but his name's at the end. All these good great funny storytellers are gonna be saying, oh, one time Gilbert comes to the club, he says that, and he goes through this whole thing, and he'd be oh, this is so I'm down.
Yeah. It's weird how Whoopi Goldberg has looked the same for the last 40 years.
She clicked into looking different than she used to, and has not changed from looking like that for decades.
Yeah,
it feels
like a shockingly long amount of time.
I don't know if it's surgery or some sort of fucking ancient magic.
Her hair hasn't changed at all.
Yeah.
And that's both like it like literally hasn't changed, but it's weird that people just haven't changed a hairdo in
fun,
so
right?
long. Like, yeah, you see things like you look at every other comedian on here, and there's a noticeable difference. But Whoopi looks kind of the same as when she first started The View. I don't mean started as in like was the originator when she first started on The View.
I don't really have it, have her clocked or whatever, tracked or whatever. But yeah, she's one of those weird ones where I'm like, what are you doing? Why do you still look that way?
Large draw into where I said pathetic was when you see him shoot a basketball. It went 1 foot above his head.
But you said now, and I thought you...
That is now.
Yeah, but I think he's never been able to shoot a basketball.
Yeah, but I've never seen him do it before. Okay. So now he looks pathetic.
That's what I thought you meant, yeah. What do you got? Richard Belzer?
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan was in there, Howie Mandel.
So like the one guy where I was like, ooh, you don't look the same. Who are you? Jeff Ross of the Shiners and stuff like that. This is a good crew. This is people who've been on podcasts.
And Bill Burr, always funny to hear stories. Yeah. Would love to hear his Gilbert stories. He mentioned something about him being in his bathroom or something. No, yeah, this looks solid. I would check this out. I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, hour and a half, sort of, a little over that. So it's not gonna outstay its welcome.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not too like inspiring and shit like that. But no, thumbs up, 100%.
Yeah. All right, guys, let us know in the comments below what you think about this. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.